Oh shit, guys. Oh shit. The man, the myth, the legend. I had to give you a cool intro.
Hey.
Hey, man, listen.
Man, listen. What are you doing? You doing all right?
Just chilling here with good old Dexter boy. Just, puppy left me to get into mischief, so that's what I'm doing.
What was you said something about some shit that was said or something. I figured I'd jump in.
One, we need you to clear up that this Steve backup account is solely you and your wife isn't the one responding to people and people's lives.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's funny.
That's, Mel would have been responding, but her account was blocked.
Listen, I need her help for a lot of shit in life, but running my mouth is not one of them. I can promise you that. So,
I mean, everybody that should know that about you by now. Yeah. Even Mel can't control you.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I'm pretty efficient at, so I don't need her help with that.
So, what other was there was other information that you were privy to from yesterday that wasn't true, like certain things. I didn't want to speak on it because, Candy and was involved, and that was more like stuff that you're aware of, like how long that they had talked for, or like when Wade knew that she was not doing well. Those things sound like were misinformations out there.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, you heard what he said. He hadn't talked to her in months. He hadn't called in months. But that, the reason for that was for years, he had been saying to them, I'm innocent. I didn't do this, blah, blah, blah. And the reason he didn't call her after, was it would have been hard to face that. He'd been swearing to them that he was innocent, and he just couldn't face that conversation after the fact. And if you really think about it, he only called for one reason, and that was just to kind of boast and brag about the Innocence Project picking up his case. It wasn't, for any other reason than that. He didn't call prior because what's he going to say? So, I think I heard something like was said that, they hadn't spoken years, and that's not true. They spoke up until the trial started. But just after the trial, I guess that was the first time they've talked. I hadn't talked to Candy in a while, so I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if she actually blocked you, or she just was ignoring you because you were able to clearly get through to her without any trouble after hearing you. I'm assuming you reached out to her after you heard the call, right?
Yeah, I just they don't pay attention to that shit, and you can't trust nothing Jesse says. So, I just shot her a text and just said, hey, when you have a second, if you can call me. And she called me. So, we talked for a minute, and we set up a different time to have a longer conversation. They had some family in town at the time yesterday, so we just pushed it off to a time coming up that we're gonna talk. So I don't know.
Hold that 1 second. Let me see. Hold on, my hubby's coming.
Oh my God, shit is killing me. Fuck you, Jesse. You think Jesse's listening, right?
And I can probably tell you which one Jesse is in the crowd right now.
Oh, Jessica's. Little Miss Jessie. Little Miss Cheeks. Little Miss Golden Retriever. Feather.
He'd have to tell me that he's like, I didn't get any birdies today, but I outdrove everybody.
Nice.
Golfing is too much for me, but he's at his job has their end of the year golf trip, so they go for the weekend and just golf and drink the whole time.
That's all right.
Yeah, it sounded fun for me, and I'm like, so yeah, I'm just gonna be chilling.
Listen, I was reading a lot of comments yesterday where a lot of people had said, listening to that phone call with Candy and Steve was, some people said it upset them or it was hard to listen to. But, if you listen to how Candy speaks, and how Steve speaks, that's just the kind of people they are. You can tell just by their tone, what kind of people they really are. They're not, you take a good family like that and then you throw all this madness into it. I can't imagine how hard that is for them on a daily basis. So.
But then, that's also cleared in the street. Like you've never physically talked to Steve.
Oh no, I've never talked to Steve.
Only
Absolutely
Candy,
not.
and she generally talks to you when Steve's not around, right?
Yeah. And whatever that issue is, we've talked about it. I've asked her about it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, he knows we talk," and but he's always had a different stance.
Yeah. See, did you hear my opinion earlier? I feel like it's just where he's just tired of his wife getting hurt. So he doesn't know in general, he's just over it. He's like, I'm over it and I'm tired of her. She just gets me involved in some drama he doesn't want to be a part of, Yeah.
And he seems like he's just more kind of reserved. And like Candy has said, he kind of keeps his feelings inside. He doesn't really like talking about shit like this. And, I think that's the biggest part of it. You heard what Candy said. No, he's not here. Yeah, I don't know where he is. I don't know when he'll be back. Oh, never mind. He's here. I know Jumpsuit's reaction.
He's like,
yeah,
not here.
Yeah. So,
Then afterwards they got, that's why I said they probably fought when they got after the phone. Like, damn it, Candy, I told you I wasn't home.
But you also got to understand a few things. One of them is, this is not new shit. The situation's new. The circumstance is different, but those type of calls have been happening for years. Oh, I swear this is it and blah, blah, blah. And, oh, listen, this is the one. She loves me so much and I really want you guys to meet her. And, that's just been the ongoing theme for years. But
also acting like that this wasn't the first time that she's been introduced to females. Like I know on these calls, like you were introduced to all these different females. So I can only imagine how many Candy was introduced to.
Yeah. I mean, there was a few where, he asked, can you get them a little ring, like a promise ring or an engagement ring? And I know of 3 that they actually went to K Jewelers and bought, a little promise ring or some shit and mailed it to 3 different women just since he's been in jail down there. So, it's nothing new. It's just the same old shit. So,
yeah. What do you think about that? Did you because everybody's wondering what your thoughts were on the stupid Jessie letter?
Which one?
But where she was writing out those questions. The questions, and then Wade would answer them, and he was asking.
Yeah, I don't really have a thought on it. It's you. See, and I say,
do you think that Wade wrote them though? Do you think that he wrote those, or do you think that someone coerced him, or somebody else wrote them?
Yeah, I think he was told what to write. just for damage control. But, you know, it doesn't matter what I say. I'm just a fucking hater, and, you know, I'm talking shit, and I'm just clout chasing. And, you know, bitch, I went to work this morning. If I'm clout chasing, I wouldn't be busting my ass in the Florida sun every day. So,
doing manual labor too, not even like, you know, just sitting at a desk.
yeah. But I don't know, all that shit, you know, all the letters and all that. That's not factual shit. That's just what is being told.
Damage control.
We need.
Do you think that there's like other, like, do you think Jesse has stepped away like those, like they're trying to portray?
No, absolutely not. Jesse's deeply involved in this, and like I said, Jesse is Team Wade. So
you're the one-man band.
The one-man band with bad carpet taste. I look forward to that shit now. I gotta say that. I look forward to that. So that's gonna be
awesome. Good. I'm dead. The carpet.
Yeah, the pattern is just so yucky, you know? I don't know. That wouldn't be a carpet I'd pick out. And I don't have real good taste.
Oh God, hilarious. I'm dying now.
I don't know. I said that on what's her name's. I was messaging a little bit last night, and I don't have no problems with nobody. But you know, some things I was listening to, and I just was giving her a heads up. Listen, some of the shit you're saying is just not true, you know, and not for any other reason than, you know, ultimately, you know, I don't want it to come back and make her look bad, you know, but it is what it is. I don't think that it was bad information. I just think it's old information because she doesn't have, that was like from months ago, and we're already well beyond that now. So we already know like the key people that are involved right now and where it's at. So I feel like anything else, it might be, but you're tapping on something that's so long and over that's not even true anymore. And most of the stuff isn't true. And they're believing the wrong source. That's someone that's trying to backtrack now because they got caught up. Well, like the whole POA thing with Jessie, you know, she doesn't have POA no more. But I did hear they said, or she said, a family member has a power of attorney now. And I know that's not the truth. So whatever. It doesn't matter. People are going to say. No, it doesn't matter,
but you know what's going to happen is it's going to come to the light very soon. And then it just sucks because you're trying to save someone from like, hey, that's not true. And they're just not choosing to listen when you're just trying to save them so they don't, you know, have another Reddit thread of like, hey, another more misinformation being spread on these streets.
Yeah. The other thing that kind of ticked me off a little bit was the, which it shouldn't say that because it doesn't piss me off, but it's her opinion and that's fine. I respect her opinion, but you know, I know him, so I know his reactions with shit. And you know, when I went down there and had that visit with him, you know, it was disappointment in his face, you know, him keeping his head down and kind of just being soft in a way. That was just him knowing he disappointed not just me. It wasn't just me, but his parents and, you know, other people that he cares about, you know, and I guess it was interpreted as something else, and that's okay. That's just an opinion. But, you know, you take people that really don't know him and they're trying to throw opinions out on situations and they just don't have a clue. So, and that's okay. It's better that way, truthfully. But you know, that's just not facts.
And do you like that? My favorite one is, do you believe that, why would Jessie lie? Why would she lie about anything?
Why would she tell the truth? Let's ask that question. Fuck the lying part of it. Why tell the truth? I'm trying to cover this shit up.
Anybody that considers her to be like, you know, good information, like, Okay.
Yeah. That's like saying, why does the sun come up? I mean, because she fucking lies. That's why. She lies a lot. So
It's really
I don't
sad,
know.
honestly. I don't think she's been honest one time.
Yeah, I haven't heard it. Other than, well, yeah, she has when she talks about how insecure she is and how shit bothers her when he talks to other. That's the truth right there. Everything else is just fluff. So,
Yeah, she's
you know.
definitely in too deep, right? She is wait, she's well beyond that. That's for sure. Now,
Yeah.
what is your thoughts on because another one that I wanted to clear up was the factor of did Wade have any in-person visitation? That part are we already like established? Aside from one person, we're not concerned. We don't know about. Nobody had visited him. Even Jesse has not seen him in person yet.
You mean since he's been in prison, or what do you mean?
Yeah, well, since he's been like in the D row.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Because you guys know Florida more than we do. Like, what have you heard? Because a lot of those people are saying they are able to. I just think because of what he did while being incarcerated, they're not going to, give him that control to be able to be like he's already broke a lot of rules. He's not a model citizen, a model prisoner,
Well, I can say just, in the state of Florida, just a regular general population person. There's a process, someone has to submit the application, classification has to review it. They do background checks. It's not that long of a process, but it's a pretty long process. And then you amplify that by 1,000 for somebody on death row. And since he's been there, he hasn't been able to not be on disciplinary status. You're not getting a visit when you're on disciplinary status. So just like his, if you were to go to the state of Florida website and look him up, it'll show, some of his information. It'll show disciplinary confinement right now. And that's, if it was a population inmate and they got placed on disciplinary confinement, they get moved to a confinement unit. But where he's at, he's not going anywhere. They're just going to suspend his privileges. He won't leave the cell he's in. So there's, legal visits, yeah, but he hasn't had any personal visits yet.
Yeah, that part, I feel like legal is different. He can see his legal team. And
like I said before, you got to think these people communicate with each other. When they have an individual who's, out there publicly a little bit or whatever, the state attorneys and all that are in communication with the investigators at the prison, and they work together. So they know everything that's going on, and they're going to break them. I mean, that's just what they're going to do. These they know that this is where he's going to be for a very long time. So they're going to get him in check and get him familiar with how they do things. And then once they feel like, he's going to pull his shit together, they will start giving him more privileges back for sure.
Yeah, that's why, like Mel said, trying to run shit he doesn't run. The COs will break that real fast. So it's like, skirt, let me just show you that you don't run shit and we run you, and then let's bring you back to reality. So it's kind of like just taking him away. He was living in a la fantasy land where he might have been used to the regular jail life he had prior, but this is way different. This is big boy season and he's not ready, and they're trying to be like, hey, guy, this isn't a fucking game. You're making this a joke. So I feel like you have to kind of set those boundaries real quick. I figured that would happen. Actually, I was surprised it went this long.
Yeah.
I felt like it lasted for a while. They were like, yeah, we're done here.
Yeah. It's hard for somebody who's never been in that situation. It's hard to comprehend. But it really is just a world inside of its own world. You know, I mean, it's no different really than the street as far as, you know, if you've got the money, you can get what you want. If you cause problems, they're going to handle it. If you lay low, they're going to leave you alone. I mean, it's just common sense shit. And, you know, I hope he can get it together just for his own sake, because what he's looking at now is what he's going to keep looking at for quite a while. So you might as well try to make the best of it, you know.
Gemma says, no 48-hour conjugal visit in the trailer, Jesse.
I laugh so much with all those promises of sliding off into a broom closet or something, you know, and the hope that a lot of these women have had. That is absolutely not going to happen. I can assure that.
I'm excited though that you're going to have that conversation. You'll be able to have that, you know, talk to Candy and hopefully be able to, you know, go back and forth and get some information from both of you guys, because this is how you guys used to do it before back in, you know, in the beginning, and be able to do that. And I'm hoping that, you know, she talks to you and you're able to have a good constructive conversation and be like, hey, if you question anything, just reach out to me first. Cause trust me, I already have the info before you've already tried it. You know, you're listening to anybody else. Like I have, if anybody needs to know that now, all 403 of you up in here, if like they don't know, it's not legit. Because when I tell you that Steve and Mel got everything, it's coming in, and they have firsthand recollection. And so if they're telling you it's not true, it's not true. If they're saying that what you're saying is not accurate, then I would 100% support what they're saying, because they know. And that's their business to know. It's their, you know, this is actually happening to their life. So I feel like the misinformation fucks with so much shit, you know, their life especially. So it's just getting crazy in these streets where I feel like there's just nothing big. So people got to make something.
Well, the biggest thing is I don't really give a shit about what people say. I've been called so many fucked up things in my life. Words mean nothing to me.
Same.
The number one thing that I will provide to Candy and Steve are the financial documents that show exactly where the money went. Because I know that they're those kind of people, you know, they're common sense thinking people. They trust facts.
They like receipts, do they?
They like some receipts, you know. So the number one thing for me is going to be the breakdown of the funds that everybody donated and where they actually went. And I know that'll whatever the word is, that'll quiet a lot of shit down.
Well, yeah, because that's what things that they have. Like what I'm saying, they know what that money was spent on. They have the receipts for that. They know a lot of key info that people don't know. So when people are saying that the money went 100% to Ufferman from that Fundly, wrong. They have it. You're gonna see some receipts coming up. Candy gets to get some receipts too, that it's gonna actually make some sense that, you know, for her. And hopefully you guys can have that constructive conversation to help figure out how to get this guy back to some sanity. Like, let's stop playing these games now. Let's like really seriously do something to improve yourself, because this is just a joke now. You're making the whole family look terrible.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to spin it any kind of fucked up way.
You don't need to spin it because it's facts.
No, I know. But, you know, some of the money went to the lawyer for sure. Of course.
Yeah, some did. And
that's what it was supposed to do.
A lot of it didn't too.
Yeah. A lot of it didn't. But
Mel said, laying down facts today.
I don't know.
You can tell that Wade is lying in that his mouth moving. Oh, anytime his mouth's moving. I see what you're saying. I'm like, who are you talking about? Danny said, have you been called a feral hog, Steve? FYJ.
Probably. I mean, not to my face, but I would think, you know, absolutely over the years. I'm sure someone's referred to me as a feral fucking hog, but whatever. That's okay. I don't care. That's not even that bad, truthfully.
All of these calls, are you over them as much as I am? I'm like, I don't even want to hear it. I listened to the one that said Candy because I was like, okay, this is something different. And I wanted to hear the Kelly one, but I'm like, as far as anything up, like, I don't even want to hear what fucking anybody else has to say now on those calls. I'm like, man, over it.
But I look at it a little different. Yeah, I'm over them. They're all pretty much the same shit. But, I've messaged with the people at Phone Calls from Prison, and I send them random messages all the time, just thanking them, truthfully, because I know it's what they do and it's their channel and all that, and that's great. But I've also wanted to point out to them how gracious I am, because, I can sit here and say whatever the hell, I want to say. But because of the shit that they've done and the things that they've released and how they've kind of pieced stuff together, I truly think that if it wasn't for all these phone calls, this would be totally different right now. Through all the work they've done, they've really kind of exposed things for what it is, and you can't argue it. It's coming out of the horse's mouth. So how do you argue? That's
what I like the most. Is just the factual information, so people are realizing that they got played by listening to Phone Calls from Prison.
Yeah.
Oh, grad. That was these things are just every day. It's just something. And I'm like, this circus is almost, I just want to see Jesse in cuffs. That's it. That's all I'm waiting on right now. That's the next step on the adventure of this train. Watching her get held accountable for all the things she's done wrong.
Yeah, that's coming, I'm sure. But I don't know. Someone asked a question I saw about, did it bother, what did they say? Was it hard to listen to how excited Wade was knowing how it ends? I mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, kind of, but kind of not, because he knows the truth. He knows what happened. So I get it. I've never been in that situation where I had to look at myself and say, I'm either going to live here the rest of my life and never experience shit ever again, but prison life, or I'm going to be delusional, and I think I'd probably be the same way. If I knew this was my only shot, I would probably have all the hope in the world that someone's going to help me and whatever. That may not be the right feeling to have in that situation, but when you're desperate, I think you look for any hope, So
she said, thank you for answering. It's a coping mechanism for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. But, once all this extra shit fades away, and, he needs to focus on his time with his attorney. And that's the guidance and advice that he needs to take. He doesn't need to take advice from Cheeks. No. Her advice thus far has completely done the opposite of what they intended it to do.
I was going to ask you too, because you fly around on these lives. Did you see that it says Ari was communicating with people as AJ, but now Jesse is AJ? What's your thoughts on that situation?
I'm going to tell you my serious thoughts on it. And I don't know for sure. When Wade was born, his name was Anthony Joseph Testaseca. And I called him AJ. So for me to hear Jesse is using AJ now, I don't know if that has anything to do with that. Probably not. But it's just a little weird.
A weird coincidence.
Of all the 2 letters in the alphabet, you chose AJ. So, and my nickname was JR. Oh. And Wade was using the nickname JR. If you listen to a lot of those confessions and stuff he made where he was saying, JR. That's how he introduced himself at the Buddha, was JR. So
to me, it sounds like that he's always looked up to you. That's why he went to you. That's why he talked to you and reached out. And I felt like he always wanted that connection from you. And I feel like there was something that he was lacking, and he does feel that. And that's the problem. That's why we've never heard him genuinely shit on you. It's been in a letter form or some sort of thing. You guys have had conversations, but he's never, even Allie stated, he's never once talked badly about you. And I just don't think, we heard Jesse talk badly, but like, that's not coming from Wade's mouth. I feel like he genuinely is hurt because he thought you were going to be proud of him, or he thought the relationship was different because he did have that bond with you and he wants that. I feel like once this, like this whole charade and bullshit is gone, he's going to definitely realize that and hopefully have that conversation with you at least one time in his life to be 100% real and be able to save his soul, Get that fucking truth out. Tell me, son, why you played these fucking games and made us go through a roller coaster of fucking shit. Like, damn, causing you grief while he's locked up doesn't even make sense. He's not even out in the streets and he's doing damage.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, I get it. I can't blame everything on Jessie. She's a piece of shit for sure, but I can't blame everything on her. He's a grown man and he chooses the words he says. And if he didn't want to write something, he wouldn't write it. So, I respect his opinion too, and that's okay. But I do have a personal feeling towards Jessie, just because I know what kind of person she is, and I know what she's doing, and she knows I know what she's doing, and she knows I know where she's at, and she knows I know what she drives, and she knows I know her mama, and she knows I know her sister, and she knows I got the bank shit. She knows all that. So she's trying everything in her power to keep that divide going right now. And I take offense to that, because when she's long gone and forgotten about, the damage created and the shit said out of her, there is a special place for her. And I look forward to that. So.
Oh yeah, I think we all are excited for her downfall there, because she just involved herself too much, messing with things that she shouldn't, and especially family issues that are related. I'm hoping that's why hopefully you and Candy get to have that conversation and you provide all those facts that you've long had and known about. And so all the other noise going on is irrelevant, because it's, like I said, they're already like 20 steps ahead of the game over here, just waiting on the day we see Jessie locked up. It's coming soon though, because she's just doing it to herself. Like, there's each time you're doing something more illegal than the last. Like, it doesn't make sense. But you know what? You mess with fire, you get burned. Apparently, she thought she was about that life. She gonna learn real soon that she's not. When she's crying she's gonna be the one crying in her cell every night. He's not gonna show any emotion. He's built for this life, but she's not gonna be able to handle this kind of shit. I already know she ain't built for it. She thinks she is though.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. Like, please, let's see those kiosks. I'm like phone calls from prison. We're gonna need all of Jessie's calls from her lockup.
Yeah. I see this comment someone asked about his biological mom. Is she around? I'll say, like I've said before, she's dealing with her own shit, and the best thing for her right now is to leave her alone and let her have time to handle her shit, because she's not in a place to deal with any of this. This situation would probably be the death of her. So out of respect for her and her family, it's best that she just she focuses on herself right now. So.
Oh, we got burners in here. What receipts? You'll see
Jesse.
soon. You'll see
Jessica.
soon.
Yeah.
Did Jesse visit with Candy? Do you think Jesse visited with Candy in person? What was your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah.
At least once, right?
Yeah, you got to know Jesse's mama lives up there. I'm not gonna say where, but She lives not far. So she did show her face, but, you know, it is what it is. That's okay.
I'm hoping she tells you more information about that too, like the Jessie side. She has to at least now know, like, realize that she shouldn't have gotten involved. So I'm hoping that you guys have a good conversation. I can't wait to hear your conversation on that. Just because I know that a lot has been happening during those couple months. Well, what, a month and a half? I don't even know. It wasn't even that long ago, but it feels like it's been a lifetime because every day is something.
Yeah. Well,
do you think your relationship with Wade would be different if Jessie wasn't around?
No, not right now. No.
It would just be somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Answering what somebody asked in there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is what it is right now. And I accept that, and that's okay. Jessie just, unfortunately, you know, if you listen to all these calls with these other people, outside of Kristen, you know, trying to set up a GoFundMe, Jessie's taking it to a next level as far as conniving and just being a piece of shit person. You know, it just, you can just hear it. It just comes out of her freaking pores what kind of desperate person she is. And desperate people do desperate things. So, and your actions have consequences. So it is what it is.
Remember that? Well, I think the last time that you were on my live, you were talking about, well, it wasn't even now, it probably was a couple ago, but we were talking about Candy and what you would say to her if you got the chance. And do you remember when you said that you were going to like drive down and show her that phone call? Are you going to still provide that to her when you guys talk?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll give her anything she wants.
Because those are at least like those, you know, those are factual things that she can hear. So it's like, hey, listen, man, like hit her with the man. Listen.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I truly believe, you know, and Wade kind of verified that, you know, when he said to Candy, or just Steve, I don't remember who, but, you know, did you see that stuff or whatever that Jessie, you know, played for you or whatever? I'm sure she took certain things I said and took them out of context and played them. And, you know, anybody hearing certain things may feel some kind of way about it. But if you put it back into context, it changes how it sounds. So I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I just, out of respect and love, they deserve the truth. You know, they deserve the truth. They don't deserve to be lied to. They're already going through a very, you know, emotional time at their age. You know, most people at their age are traveling. They're, you know, just living good, enjoying their grandkids or whatever. Unfortunately, they're dealing with a child that did something heinous and now has been sentenced. You know, that's not the normal. So they don't know how to navigate that. I don't know how to navigate that. Most people don't. So, and to put on top of all that stress and pressure and pain and worry, now you've got this little chihuahua coming up and pumping this shit into your ears and flipping things and changing things and just being a bad person. They don't know what to believe. They don't know what to think. So I don't fault them at all. That goes back to the source. So
yeah, I agree. Somebody wants to know what your 10-year look ahead is.
Like in life, or
no, like 10-year look like ahead. Like, will it all calm down?
Yeah, this will all fade away sooner than later. I think you're still going to have that group of people that no matter what you say, no matter what you show, no matter what you prove, no matter what they hear, no matter what the facts are, they're going to believe what they want to believe for whatever their reason is. But most people with common sense, they see things for what they are, and that's why I do send messages, phone calls from prison, because I appreciate that, because of hearing these things and seeing these things. I would say there's probably thousands of people that have changed their point of view on this situation. And that's not hating. That's not, wanting Wade to have nobody. It has nothing to do with that. I want him to have everybody who wants to be there for him, but just be a good person, encouragement, self-reflection, be a better person. Don't be a piece of shit. Don't lie. Don't connive. Don't abuse people. Don't mistreat people. Don't try to gain from people for your own selfish shit. Just be an honest, good person, and whatever life you have left, make the best of it. Make amends with the people you need to make amends with. Fix the shit you need to fix. Try to be a dad the best way you can be from where you are, which is limited, but that's what it's about. It's not about fucking having some money. Money doesn't mean shit. It's not about mistreating people. It's just about being a good person, and you can't change what's happened, but you can change your future. You can change who you are as a person. So that's what's important to me. All this sexy talk and all this stupid shit, it makes me sick hearing it, because you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything for him. It may help you to have your head buried in the sand upside down doing some weird shit. That may help you, but that's not helping him. And if you really care about him, that's what you should be focused on, is helping him.
I agree. That's like you said, that there's not been one conversation from any of these females who are saying, hey, let's do something positive for you. Like, how about you try going to school or something? Like, why don't you try educating yourself on something? Or none of them is included in any sort of positive talk to be a better him. It's all how to get him out of prison. Like there's been no positive talk or influences in his life. And it just okay, not out of all these millions of women, not one of you could be like, hey, be a better person,
Well, if you really think about it, and this is every time I hear that crazy shit, that's my first thought every time. If that was my wife, if this happened to my wife or my sister or my niece, and I'm already dealing with the pain of that for the rest of my life. And then on top of that, I'm hearing or seeing these videos or phone calls and just hearing the person that I know caused me this much pain. And I'm hearing these calls and I'm hearing this, I didn't do this and I didn't this and blah, blah, blah. And it's almost, you're almost just creating deeper wounds for these people, and that's what bothers me the most. I don't give a shit about, people that come to the light and say, oh, I was wrong. I shouldn't have supported this, or I shouldn't have done that. That's your lesson.
I may have to go to San Francisco.
Hold on. What?
I may have to go to San Francisco.
Is he dying? All right. Do I need to go? I should go.
No, I'm not going right this second, but
All right.
I may go.
One of Melanie's best friends is her dad. Her dad's dying, so.
Oh no, what is going on, man?
Just a solid guy, man. I mean, I've known this guy since we were teenagers, and just a great person, great family, and he's just been really struggling. So I guess he's in the hospital now. But anyway, I don't feel bad. I have empathy for you a little bit because you were in that situation, but I'm thankful you've pulled your head out of your ass. But, you're not a victim. Okay. You're just not a victim. You put yourself in that position and you had to learn a hard lesson. And that's okay, because that could make you a better person in the future. But you take the people that didn't ask for this shit and didn't want no part of it, and they have to hear all this, all these theories from people and these, come on with the shit. It's just, think about the people that live with this every day, not just, for entertainment purposes. There's real lives affected that will always be affected. And that's what bothers me the most about it.
That's what people just don't like. They don't listen to that part. To them, it's a story or it's like an entertainment part. But there is like a lot more where people's personal lives, it really affects them. And that's the whole thing of when people get mad at me for like defending certain people. Like, yeah, because they're trying to actually live their life. They've already said sorry and moved on. And you just won't let them go do that. Let them fucking do that shit and stop dwelling on it, because it's really affecting their life. It's not affecting yours. And you don't know the lengths that people are willing to go through. It's kind of creepy, actually. It's really weird. I'm getting like so fed up with that portion. Like, man, like even what they've done to you guys in the exposing and dropping. Thanks again, Jessicas, for that drop of all their personal information and old black and whites. Like, this girl's done so much shit, and I just don't even understand. And it's like, but then of course she's going to be the one to play victim when she's in trouble and she's in cuffs. And all of a sudden, like, it's going to be a flip script of how she is a victim and she's being victimized. You already know the drill.
Yeah. And that's where I have zero sympathy, because, you created a lot of this stuff. You sent out these stupid cease and desist letters.
Do you know that she tried to send one to me, but it didn't go to the right place?
Yeah, well, there you go. That's another
that.
example. But, you did all that. And as soon as you knew that your calls were going to come out, what did you do? You couldn't take the heat. So you went ahead and pulled a little money out, paid for some attorneys to do all that crap in Fort Myers. A, that's not what that money was designated for. And B, you just look like a coward. You can dish it out, but you can't take it when it comes back around to you. So there's no sympathy there for me.
No, that's why I said it's earlier in the game, before everybody knew what they knew and saw what they saw. Now all the facts are out on the table. And if you still support him, look at right now, I think it's only people that are foreign, that don't speak very good English, and Jesse. Like, I have not seen anybody else, and all of the team waited, stepped down, and they've all come and sung a different tune. So it's been kind of like weird that, everybody's down there. So if you're at this point still believing he's innocent, you need bigger help than anybody else. We can't feel bad for you at this point, because now you're just being ridiculous. You don't care about anything. The facts don't mean shit to you is what we're getting out of this situation. Because it's all there. That's even though, like, those German people, the one girl, she's sitting there saying she never even watched the trial. Well, then why the fuck are you even speaking on it this late in the game, never seen the trial, and missed all key important information? Like, oh my God. I'm not going to talk to you. It's like talking to a rock.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all going to play out the way it's supposed to. And
if she's listening to you right now, which out of 478 people, she probably is. What are the kind words you'd like to say? Obviously, kind are hard to come by these days.
I know.
Don't get your account taken away.
No, I'm not. But I will say, you need to make amends with your family, because they were trying to give you some good advice and you didn't listen. That's the first one. Second one, get your affairs in order. Make sure that you got your bail money together and do all that. And you just got to deal with your consequences. That's it. I mean, you made some bad choices, and you got to go to timeout for a while.
Oh, that was very kind. Timeout. Got to face some time out. Okay, you're going to be in time.
You need a little self-reflection time.
Mm-hmm. And don't go crying to Steve with your "I'm sorry."
No, there ain't no sorries over here. You're
You already
sorry.
know
to
she
be
gonna do that.
making your life better and trying to find a man in the free world that will treat you properly. That's what you need to focus on. Or just
you're
be by
kinder than me.
yourself. You don't need a man to be happy. You can be happy on your own.
See, and even after all the bullshit she's put you through, you're still giving her kind words of advice. I'm over here like, have the day you deserve, bitch.
Yeah. Well, I know
You're
that's
kinder than me.
coming. I know it's coming, so I don't need to throw that out there for her. She's gonna feel that when she gets that new hardware on her wrists. She'll really look back at that point and realize she messed up.
I wonder how many people too. She's gonna get locked up with all these people that are like have dated or been personally victimized by Wade too.
Well, and that's the other thing, to whoever, don't let that woman drag you down. Don't get caught up in something you can't get out of, especially when it comes to that money, because they're not playing about it.
Nope.
So
We don't come with them receipts so that way people could see that she already digging a hole every single day. She's doing something else to dig a hole. I don't know what her intentions are now to bring out old characters. Like she dropped like Haley's message printed out, and then she dropped that other aura message and printed out. Like, they're trying to grasp at anything to like take the eyes off of what's really going on. It's kind of, it's like politics, right? Where they sideswipe you with some bullshit little entertainment on the side while something big is going on behind the scenes.
yeah. Well, the other thing I would say too is you need to tighten your taste up a little bit, because that gaudy, ridiculous looking rug you got, that is one of the most absurd things I've ever seen. Go to Rooms to Go or something. They've got some good stuff over there. Haverty's is nice too. I don't know where that came from, but that is atrocious.
That rug.
That rug is
We'll
just
drop the rug
horrible.
receipts soon. Pay close attention to Mel. She's gonna be dropping them receipts soon.
Listen, I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to go check on my wife and her.
Have fun at your dinner party tonight.
Oh my God. It's so late. I'm so old. I'm like 9 o'clock. Who the hell? I don't want to go to dinner at 9 o'clock in Tampa. 9
a.m. I'm in my PJs.
God, I'm so ready to go
9
to
p.m.
sleep.
Yeah. That's crazy that you're like, especially 50 and above. It's like, okay, all of us don't want to go out at that time.
And boy, how times have changed, right? 9 o'clock. We weren't even ready to go out back in the day. We were just getting started at 9.
Yeah, pre-gaming.
Godly, I'm ready to go.
And now
to bed.
it's like, you want me to leave at 9 p.m.? I was trying to be home by 9 p.m.
Well, and then the worst part is you go get super full and then you got to drive home an hour. That's
a long drive when you just got done and you're already tired and it's already well past your bedtime.
Yeah. But all right, I'm
hope
going to
you
get
have
out
a
of
fun
here.
time. Enjoy hanging out with family, and you don't get to see them too often. So I hope you guys have a good night and have a really good meal at least.
I'd love to post some pictures about it, but I feel like I can't do that because that'll get spun around,
That's
I don't
sad.
want.
Well, I mean, you could on your own personal because you're private. So your own personal people that you've actually accepted could see it, but not like anybody else.
Yeah, I usually leave all the posting to Melanie.
Yeah,
So-
Mel could share it with us. We'll see it. She could put it in the Discord.
All right. Well, y'all have
I
a
want to
good
see
one.
what she looks like. I want to see if like your sister looks like you.
Oops. Y'all have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for coming. I'll kick you out. Wait. You have to say your things.
Which one? Fuck
Oh,
you, Jesse.
you didn't say either of them today.
Oh, the one more thing. I know. I just don't have one more thing to say right now. As soon as you kick me off, I'll be like, damn, I wanted to say that. But
All right, hit us with the main one.
fuck you, Jesse.
Oh wait, hold on. Before you go, somebody just messaged me. Hold. I'll talk to you behind the scenes on that. I don't want to put that out on the platform, so we'll talk to you about that. But fuck you, Jesse. Have a good night.
Fuck you, Jesse. Y'all have a good one. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, let me disconnect you out.